Now, we all know that smoking is bad for you, and now smokers can light up in fewer places. As legislators, they're banning the practice from bars, beaches, and public grounds across the country. But now they're looking to take the miniature smokestacks out of the movies, and some are asking, have they gone too far? Smoking is being banned from more restaurants, bars, and public places every day.
You're just finding that out.
But now there's also a movement to ban it from the cinema. Walt Disney and Universal Pictures recently announced that they will eliminate smoking from their youth-oriented films, like this summer's Superbad and Rush Hour 3. The Motion Picture Association of America is even considering harsher ratings for movies that feature smoking, with some suggesting an automatic R rating if someone lights up on screen. Critics say these rules limit a filmmaker's ability to reflect a realistic world, and edge perilously close to censorship, arguing that a line needs to be drawn before drinking alcohol and even eating red meat are also banned from films. Should Hollywood work to eliminate smoking from movies? Or is smoking just a part of real life and creative expression? Dispose your butts. It's The Loop. All right, my guest tonight, editor with Chud.com, Devin Faraci, joins us, and with the American Legacy Foundation, which deals with anti-smoking issues, Laura Cruzada is here as well. Welcome to The Loop, everybody.
Thanks.
Laura, I'd like to start with you. Why does Hollywood need to actually take a hard look at smoking in movies? Like, why now? Why is it on your radar, and why should it be on our radar?
Well, there's a tremendous amount of research that takes a look at the effect of smoking in movies on young people. And what it all says when you put it together is basically that young people who see the most amount of smoking in movies are more likely to light up. And as you said, tobacco is a really serious health problem. And the fact that movies recruit about 400,000 youth to smoke each year is something that Hollywood should really consider when rating their movies.
Now, Devin, there were a lot of movies this summer even, Superbad, Rush Hour 3, even The Simpsons. Those were aimed at teens. They had depictions of smoking in there. Take yourself back to when you were 14, 16 years old. If you see Homer light up, is that going to make you want to try?
Well, I've seen a lot of movies in my time, and I've seen a lot of people smoking in movies in my time, and I've never had a cigarette in my entire life. So obviously, I don't necessarily buy into the idea that whatever you see on screen, you're going to go home and do, because I've also never killed anybody. I've also never been in a car chase, and I've never been an international spy. So.
Laura, how does this research show that the teens are actually being affected by seeing smoking on the screens?
Well, whether smoking is portrayed as rebellious or cool, kids are likely to light up just because they're so impressionable and they want to be like the people they see on TV or in movies.
And they want to be like the people they see at school and the people that they see at their home and the people they see at the corner and the people who are driving the bus.
Absolutely. I mean, even after controlling for all other factors, the researchers found that smoking in movies had a tremendous impact on youth starting to smoke. Whether their parents smoked, whether their peers smoked, it was still one of the primary risk factors for them starting to smoke.
Now, do you really think, I'm curious how you could control for those other factors. I understand that, as somebody seeing smoking on the big screen, it might seem interesting or sexy or crazy, sexy, cool if you have to. But how can you really control for all those other factors?
Well, the researchers have various control methods they use when they're asking teens reasons why they smoke, or they try to associate different variables, such as they ask them if their parents smoke and whether they tried cigarette smoking. I don't know all the details of the research, but I just know that all of it added up together shows that youth are more likely to smoke after watching smoking movies. So.
All right, now, Devin, Walt Disney Studios, they're kind of banning smoking from their films. I think Universal is considering a similar track. Would you agree with that kind of a direction here?
No, I think that what should happen is that the creative people should have the decision-making process. They should decide. If you want to have smoking in your movie, if there's a reason for somebody to be smoking in your movie, then you should have somebody smoking in your movie.
Laura, how do you feel about Disney's decision?
Well, think about it. Disney is one of the biggest media companies aimed just to kids. If they're going to ban smoking, if anyone's going to ban smoking from their movies, it's a good idea that Disney does so. And we're really happy that Universal has taken a similar policy. I think it's a step in the right direction.
But do you think more needs to be done, Laura?
Absolutely. We're asking movie studios and the MPAA to consider rating any new movie with smoking R, because we know that that's the only evidence-based policy that's going to reduce young people's exposure to smoking in the movies.
That's just ridiculous. I mean, Casablanca is a classic film that's full of smoking. Is that now an R-rated movie? Cruella de Vil smokes in 101 Dalmatians is now an R-rated cartoon. It just doesn't make any sense. And I think that you can ban smoking from films. People are still going to smoke. And what's next? Are you going to start making it so that kids in movies must wash their hands before they eat dinner? They must listen to their parents. They must never be in danger. Because the best way, I guess, according to what you're saying, the best way to create a utopia on Earth is to have everybody in the movies be nice, do what they're supposed to do, never hurt anybody, because it's just the movies that make a difference.
I want to touch on a few things you said. First of all, we don't want to go back and re-rate, Casablanca or digitally, change how smoking was depicted there. We want to focus on movies moving forward. And we know there could be a slippery slope, but there's an evidence base behind what we're trying to do here. And basically, we know that youth-rated movies, PG-13, PG, and G, have delivered billions of smoking impressions to young people.
But Laura, I want to get back to that slippery slope argument really quick there, because we do know that is obviously one of those situations, but how do you know where that ends? Where if you start with smoking now, I mean, there are studies that prove that, too much fast food is unhealthy, it clogs your arteries, et cetera,
Sure,
et cetera.
I mean, no one's going to argue that fast food's unhealthy, but I don't know what the research says on if there's a lot of Big Macs on screen, people are going to start eating a lot of Big Macs.
Well,
but
there's a lot of fat kids today, so obviously it's because they're seeing kids eat badly in movies, so let's just ban that. People in movies can only eat broccoli from now on.
There is a consumer demand for the rating system, and, about 70% of parents agree with the R rating for smoking in the movies, so...
Devin, are you a parent? Would you agree with your child seeing a movie where people smoke?
Thank God I'm not a parent, but I would. You know what? If I had a kid and somebody smoked in the movie, I really wouldn't be that worried about it. I mean, because I would hope that I have kids who are smart enough to know that what they see in a movie is not necessarily reality, and I'm not worried that they're going to go home and they're going to, try to jump into a spaceship and fight the intergalactic empire, because it's a movie. It's pretend.
Well,
Laura, I want to give you the final word. Go ahead.
We just want the rating system to consider smoking the way they consider the F word. No one ever died from the F word, but people really are affected by what they see on screen.
Well, see, that's the thing, is that the way that the
smoking.
rating system treats the F word is pretty stupid as well. So, I mean,
That's a whole other loop for a whole other day. We're out of time right now. I want to thank my guests, Devin and Laura, for joining us. We appreciate it.
Attack of the Show, weeknights at 7, only on G4.